The anime industry makes a ludicrous amount of money, obviously, but have you ever wondered how much? In previous videos of mine, I have covered the rise of anime in the West and how it came to prominence, but for today's video, I wanted to nail down just how much cash flows in and out of this industry, or at the very least, get a rough estimate and where the industry is headed. Before we get too deep in this video, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe. We are on our way to 20,000 subscribers, and I would love to have you around. Act 1, early 2000s rise. To jump back in time for a bit, let's take a look at how the anime industry was doing when it was officially on the rise back in the early 2000s. The industry output in 2000, including television, film, and video production, generated around 180 billion yen in 2001, which is roughly 1,212,192,000 USD. While yes, this is relatively early for the topic we are tackling today, it is an indicator that production-related revenues were high with things such as merchandise. Domestic market revenue in 2000 was around 9.4 billion yen, or roughly $64 million, and exports were estimated to be around 5.5 billion yen, which is roughly about $37 million. Domestic market revenue refers to money earned from Japan itself, so in this particular instance, we are referring to TV anime broadcast licensing, in which TV networks pay to air shows, box office ticket sales from anime films to Japanese theaters, VHS and DVD sales, as well as merchandise sales. Things such as figures and clothing fall under that umbrella as well. Exports is money earned from outside of Japan. This includes licensing to foreign TV stations such as Guiezao and Toonami. Go check out my video on that. Who said that? As well as international DVD and home video sales. Then you have things such as early anime conventions and screenings outside of Japan. So at that time, the international market was much smaller compared to today. In 2000, the ratio heavily weighted towards domestic revenue, with Japan at an estimated 9.4 billion yen, which equated to roughly 64%, while overseas revenue was equated to 5.5 billion yen. So Japan's domestic market made up roughly 64% of revenue, with exports at 36%. Anime was still mainly a Japanese thing, but there were hints of what was coming. The rise of anime conventions in the US, like Anime Expo and Otakon, showed just how hungry international audiences were. VHS and DVD sales of shows like Cowboy Bebop and Neon Genesis Evangelion were quietly pulling in millions overseas. But by the year of 2023, there had already been a massive shift in how the money was flowing. By 2023, the overseas market was damn near equal in the domestic market. The overseas market was estimated at 1.72 trillion yen, which is roughly 11 billion USD, which equates to 51%, and the domestic market was 1.62 trillion yen, which is about 10 billion USD. That equates to 49% of the market revenue. This is an absolutely asinine amount of money that's being shuffled around everywhere. You think Toyota and Honda are raking in dough overseas? Brother, when these 4chan gooners buy them figures and Funko Pops for nefarious purposes, they make the sales in that new CRV look like a goddamn joke. Meanwhile, I'm debating dropping $60 in Crunchyroll's free shipping membership just to avoid paying $5 for shipping. Like, what? Now, a logical question would be, well, Daffy, where does all that money go? Great question, my dear viewer, who has definitely subscribed if they haven't yet. Let's go ahead and let's break that down. Act 2. Where does it all go? Starting off in this particular section, we need to talk about production committees. If you watched my anime industry documentary, some of these terms will already be familiar to you, so good for you, you're already ahead of the curve. Production committees are a group of companies such as publishers, toy makers, TV networks, and music labels to fund a project as a collective. Now, they split the projects based on investment, which leaves the actual animation studios with extremely slim margins. Most studios, even your giants in the industry such as MAPPA and Kyoto Animation, are contracted to produce anime, and they get a flat fee. Think of the studios themselves as contractors. These animation studios don't own the IP, merch rights, or streaming revenue. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, the exact reason why we have not had any Dragon Ball Super content in years, including the manga, is due to Toei and Shueisha in an intense legal battle over the rights after Akira Toriyama's passing. Now, mind you, they were already having this dispute before Toriyama's passing, but it was just further highlighted in the public eye after his sudden death. These people are so greedy. You have $1 billion gold mine sitting there doing nothing for a year. Now, unfortunately, it is widely known that animators get paid pennies on the dollar by these large studios. Animators traditionally are paid per frame rather than a flat salary. To keep it completely honest, the rates are shit. Animators are on average paid 200 yen for one single frame. The average salary for new animators in their 20s is estimated to be $900 USD monthly. My brother in Christ, some folks' car payments are half of that. It's me. I'm folks. That's me. And that's not a flex, by the way. That's awful. These people deserve way more. For example, Demon Slayer Mugen Train made over $500 million globally, but Ufotable themselves most likely only got a substantially smaller fixed fee. Mugen Train and merchandise most likely made Bandai Namco billions of dollars. Merchandise sales for something like Pokemon would generate billions annually, but the animators themselves, unfortunately, don't see anything remotely close to that. These people are still overworked and underpaid. Toei's animation earnings offer a big glimpse into the low wages of its animators. In the fiscal year ending of March 2025, Toei Animation posted 100.8 billion yen in consolidated revenue, which was a 13.7% increase over the previous year. The operating profit around this time was 32.4 billion yen, and the net income was around 23.6 billion yen, meaning that this was a healthy 32% operating margin. To put it simply, Toei keeps nearly a third of its revenue as operational output, which is extremely high compared to industry rates. Let's take a look at Toei's revenue report from the fiscal year of 2023. Licensing such as games, merchandising, and TV rights equates to 42 billion yen, which equates to 41% of their profits. Film and box office equates to 37 billion yen, which is 37% of revenue, and miscellaneous things such as events make up 8% of the revenue. Toei, as the IP owner, gets the lion's share of these profits, which is way more than what the animation work itself actually costs. Toei's licensing, film, and merchandise profits dwarf the actual costs of making content in all reality. Now, this is done on purpose, and while it is efficient, yes, the fact that the animators are still being treated so harshly is rage-inducing. Global demand for more anime didn't fix any of these problems, it exacerbated them, as well as the demand. Netflix and Crunchyroll are paying larger licensing fees, but these production committees are still king. Studios are asked to do more shows faster and with tighter budgets. So now the question is, what's next for this global cash machine? Act 3. Promising changes in the anime economy's future. With platforms like Netflix and Disney Plus dipping their hands into the anime genre, is change finally on the horizon? Netflix originals such as Devilman Crybaby, Castlevania, and Yasuke do have higher budgets, and Crunchyroll themselves are investing heavily in licensing and co-production, but is this more pressure on studios to perform? Well, luckily, there is some good news to all this. Companies are making solid changes to their own workplaces and cultivate a safe environment for their workers. Ufotable keeps larger control of its IP, such as Demon Slayer's profits. Kyoto Animation pays animators actual salaries instead of per frame rates. Now, are the rates great? Not necessarily, but it certainly is a start. Colorido and Studio Ghibli are opting for in-house production and fewer shows, which hopefully leads to a better quality of life. Besides some studios attempting for meaningful change, animators are speaking up more and more about how inhumane the treatment they are facing is. Janica and NAFCA advocating for better pay options. Janica and NAFCA are two organizations advocating for better pay and conditions. Western animation guilds such as SAG-AFTRA and WGA being more prominent in the news cycle, it is indeed possible that anime workers could follow suit. Globalization over the past 30 years has made anime a $25 billion cultural export for Japan, which would qualify it as a soft power. Soft power is a political science term originated by Joseph Nye, which is defined as the ability of a country to influence others not through military force, which would be qualified as hard power, but through culture, values, and media. Anime and manga have people across the globe aligning with Japan simply because they love what it creates. Tourism in Japan generated $50 billion in 2023, with a noticeable boost from anime-related pilgrimage to Akihabara, the Ghibli Museum, and Pokemon centers. Anime just isn't art anymore. It's a $25 billion global phenomenon. But can the anime money machine keep growing forever, or are we headed for a bubble that's about to burst? You let me know down in the comments below. It's me, your boy Daffy, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this video. Please make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Y'all be sure to take care of yourselves, guys, and have a damn good one. Peace.